We're 62 hours away from shutting down the government of the United States of America, and Republicans are launching an impeachment drive based on a long debunked and discredited lie. No foreign enemy has ever been able to shut down the government of the United States, but now MAGA Republicans are about to do just that. But they don't want to cut off public services to the people and deny paychecks to more than 1 million service members without first launching an impeachment drive, even when they don't have a shred of evidence against President Biden for an impeachable offense.
That was part of Ranking Member Jamie Raskin's opening statement in the first hearing for the Biden impeachment inquiry. Now, a large part of the Democrats on the committee's testimony surrounded the lack of legitimacy for the hearings because there was no evidence. There's been no formal vote. It's not under oath. There's no fact witnesses. I mean, the list goes on. And the fact that this is their focus instead of the impending shutdown. Now, according to House Republicans, the inquiry is going to focus on answering the following. The focus is, first, did Joe Biden as vice president and or president take any official action or affect any change in government policy because of money or other things of value provided to his family or him from foreign interests? Second, did Joe Biden as vice president and or president abuse his office of public trust by providing foreign interests with access to him and his office in exchange for payments to his family or him? Third, did Joe Biden as vice president and or president abuse his office of public trust by knowingly participating in a scheme to enrich himself or his family by giving foreign interests the impression that they would receive access to him and his office in exchange for payments to his family or him? Fourth, did Joe Biden abuse his power as president to impede, obstruct, or otherwise hinder investigations, including congressional investigations or the prosecution of Hunter Biden, despite there being no evidence to suggest that any of those things are the case? But to help answer these questions, they brought 3 expert witnesses. Here's AOC asking them why they're there, and you're gonna love their answers.
In your testimony today, are you presenting any firsthand witness account of crimes committed by the President of the United States?
No, I'm not.
No, you are not. Ms. O'Connor, you are the second Republican witness here today. Have you, in your testimony, presented any firsthand witness account of crimes committed by the President of the United States?
I have not.
Thank you. Now, Mr. Dubinsky, as the third and final Republican witness in this hearing, have you, in your testimony, presented any firsthand witness account of crimes committed by the President of the United States?
I have not.
That's so awesome. It's so awesome that this is what our elected representatives are doing instead of, I don't know, preventing our government from shutting down and thousands of Americans being out of work for an extended period of time and not getting paid and people not being able to receive essential services. That's really cool. And one of the reasons why these are their witnesses, and I mentioned they have no fact witnesses, is because the people that they've already been presenting as the key fact witnesses were deposed. And none of them testified to seeing any impropriety on behalf of Joe Biden. In fact, every single one of them testified that Joe Biden did nothing wrong and had no involvement in Hunter Biden's business ventures with foreign governments and corporations and foreign governments. It's just so funny. It's so funny. But sometimes you don't even need the representatives to do the questioning. Here's the witness themselves ruining the GOP's day.
And I want to emphasize what it is that we're here today for. This is a question of an impeachment inquiry. It is not a vote on articles of impeachment. In fact, I do not believe that the current evidence would support articles of impeachment.
I am not here today to even suggest that there was corruption, fraud, or any wrongdoing. In my opinion, more information needs to be gathered and assessed before I would make such an assessment.
And you could probably assume that the Republicans are not exactly loving this from CNN. You want witnesses that make your case. Picking witnesses that refute House Republicans' arguments for impeachment is mind-blowing, one senior GOP aide told CNN. This is an unmitigated disaster, but does the fact that it was a disaster matter to the Republicans? Of course not, because this is just meant to be a circus. So from that article, at the close of the impeachment inquiry hearing Thursday, House Oversight Chair James Comer announced that he was issuing subpoenas for the bank records of the president's son, Hunter Biden, and brother, James Biden. Brett, I just can't get over the fact that this is all happening while the government is, teetering on the edge of shutting down. This is the focus, and it's such a self-inflicted wound because they let Trump dictate the actions of the party by himself, by posts on social media, and then the result is that they have to put on this silly show.
Americans like saying the government's useless. A lot of Americans like saying the government's corrupt. A lot of Americans like saying, ugh, my tax dollars have to pay for this. That's like vaguely Republicanish language that they tap into a lot. However, Americans hate the government for doing exactly stuff like this. This is not the Republicans fixing the problems they say exist in the government. This is them acting them out in real time. They hate when the Republicans shut down the government. No one likes it. They get madder at the government in general when this kind of stuff happens. And it should be everyone should be reminded that the government might shut down, not necessarily because the Democrats and Republicans don't agree. It might get shut down because the Republicans and the Republicans don't agree. And rather than sit there and hash that out, what's happening? The main other thing they're doing is an impeachment inquiry, during which is itself failing so horribly. And AOC is this person they call so stupid and an actress is able to get each one of the Republicans' own witnesses to say, I am not contributing anything to these proceedings. Meanwhile, the previous proceeding, I can sum up the evidence in the two Trump impeachments. The two, one, he said, I want you to do me a favor, though. He withheld foreign aid so that he could get a personal favor for his election hopes. And then the second one was, I need you to find 18,000 votes. He asked the Secretary of State to mess up the election results on his behalf by just, quote, finding that many votes. Like, I can say that succinctly, and they're just like, I don't know, Biden, Hunter, laptop, he parties too hard,
For more political news, breakdowns, interviews, stories of activism, and me trying my hardest to care about the occasional big celebrity news story, subscribe to our YouTube channel at youtube.com/The Damage Report. And you can ring the bell wherever it is so you don't miss anything.